Hello, everybody, and welcome back to that fresh 2017 edition of Panda Watch. As always, I'm Steven Zebrak with
Gosh damn it. It's your boy Kev Ma. What up? What up? What up?
Man Kev. We
2017?
do this. We do this so often. It feels like yesterday. It's our last podcast.
Yes. Unfortunately, we do this so often that yesterday was not our last podcast. It was actually like a long time ago.
Yeah, it was back in October, I think.
It was probably a week or two before the power shifted from one hand to the other.
From one large black hand to another tiny shriveled
We
up
went
white hand. Yes.
we went from the strong arm black hand, and some would say he was like he was like too partisan, too whatever. You know, people really enjoyed him in some circles. Two, we have now a new president in the United States of America. And
Yeah.
his name is General Palpatine. I mean, his name is President Donald. Wish I knew his middle initial because
John.
John.
Donald J. Trump.
Donald J. Trump, man.
Real one.
The art of the deal, people. We're here. We are in Trump's America. And I, for one, say, hey, we're here.
Yeah, we've been here. It's been 5 days, and everyone's still alive, so that's a good thing.
Yes, nobody has died, so I guess point for Trump,
right? I mean, at this point, I'll be honest. I mean, I'm rooting for him to succeed, because
yes, keep going.
So, I'm rooting for success.
Yes. Oh wait, that was all you were gonna say? I'm rooting for him to succeed.
I mean, about that.
Oh, okay. Well, I would just like to say, as one half of this illustrious podcast team and the black one, I'm just gonna say, hey Donald, man, please, please, please. And that's all I'm gonna say. Because if I actually do go out and take a side, then Black America is going to come for me. And I don't know if you've been paying attention, Stephen, but man, if you're black and you talk to Donald Trump, it ain't going to go over well for you, right? Because you got to come home, whether you're all inclusive or you are just for black people. But if you find yourself interacting with the president, you're in trouble.
Now, why would you say that? I mean, it looks like Steve Harvey's doing a pretty good job.
So I'm not on Twitter. PandaWatch is. You can follow us on PandaWatch. Steven, what's the handle?
PandaWatch Cast.
Yep. At PandaWatch Cast.
Yeah.
That's the handle on Twitter. But there's a thing called Twitter, and then there's a thing called Black Twitter, which I don't know when we'll ever get past that. We probably won't ever. However, it's the same application, but it's just that when African Americans use it, it becomes a whole new thing. And with that said, when you talk about specifically Steve Harvey and how he became the Steve Harvey who he is through the comedy things, through movies, through now he's like nationally syndicated, Black America will never let you forget, or America will never let you forget how you got there. And you should never forget how you got there. But Steve Harvey got there through people who are at home during the day to watch him talk about how to win a man, or how to grow a mustache, or how to wear suits with 50 buttons. They usually people who are home around that time are people who took the day off, people who have the day off, people who work from home, and people who just said fuck it. Now,
also, let's not forget those night workers.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, the people in the night workers, man. We're not gonna leave y'all. We're bringing jobs back. Thank you, President Trump. But yeah, the people who are at home who brought Steve to where he's at is like a specific demographic, and they felt taken aback when they saw the president come out of that thing, even more so than when Kanye West came out of his thing. Because at least they could be like, well, Kanye West got green hair. We don't really pay attention to him no more. But Steve, we love you. We watch your show. Don't have no idea what your show is about, but we follow you. So that's where I'm at right now. And then another story. It's from the inauguration, which happened, on Friday, January 20th. Because when are we recording this? What is today? Today's the 25th. We are 5 days in. That's right. Steven already said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said that. That's why I said it. Chrisette Michele. Chrisette Michele is also an African American young lady. She's an amazing performer. She's got a great voice. She was invited to sing at the inauguration, which a lot of people would be like, "What a huge honor! I'm a singer. I'm a performer. I get to perform on one of the most grandiose stage ever on this planet that we call Earth." However, if you perform for President Trump, then Black America, Black Twitter is coming for your face. And that's exactly what happened. So PandaWatch people, just know that it's your boy Kevin Ma is just here. I ain't neutral. I'm just not saying, hey man, I don't want nobody on my bad side.
Yeah, but speaking of the inauguration, and I get what you're saying, it's tough to tread the line of, how you feel and how you want to be perceived. So,
that's fair. I mean, look, can I put you on the spot? I mean, you're a white guy.
Yeah. Last time I checked.
Last time. Yeah. And you vote the way you vote. Do you ever get, I guess, disgruntled, angry about how white males are portrayed in America? Because remember, you are still a white male.
I'll be honest with you. I used to. It used to bother me that white guys would get lumped in all together. But then I realized, oh shit, that happens with every other race and gender. So I really shouldn't take it personally. And I should know that if I don't do the generalization things that they're blaming white men for doing, then they're not talking about me. They're talking about the collective or the ignorant of our gender and race. It used to bother me, but now whenever I see, oh man, white people just don't get black people, then I can just laugh and say, yeah, they're probably right, but I'm cool with it. So it doesn't bother me.
Beautiful.
Does that make sense?
It makes complete me. I mean, Steven, you complete me, and it makes complete me sense as well.
Yeah.
The inauguration, unless you were going to say something.
No, that was all. I was pretty much done. I was just going to keep saying the same thing for another 2 minutes. But yes, the inauguration.
The inauguration, January 20th, 2017. I mean, we had a peaceful transfer of power from.
There was a couple acts of violence. I think some people tried setting some cars on fire, but other than that, it was the majority of it was peaceful. There were only a few pockets here and there, but yes, it was peaceful.
It was fucking peaceful. There was nobody there. What was going to happen?
I don't know. I mean, there weren't enough people there for anything to happen. That's what I'm like. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes. But with that said, I think that America should know, or should always remember, that we are stronger than whatever opposition we have, no matter what side you are, right? Because if we're being honest and objective, because that's all PandaWatch is always about, we just want to give you our 2 cents. We don't pick a side. We just show you how we think. America's going to be okay because we are stronger than anything that can happen. So you don't have to give them a chance, but just bet on yourself that it's not going to be that bad. And then the next day after the inauguration, we saw, some really, really powerful stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I'm alluding to the 500,000 to upwards of 1 million people worldwide, or even domestic in the States, who came down to came down to DC to march on behalf of the Women's March, it was something to behold. Now, I saw it from my couch, but it was something to behold.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, I was about to say, until you corrected it to say DC. There were so many people in so many different cities and states. Like, I saw people marching in Maine. Like, I saw people marching in Minnesota. Like, it was insane how organized, and it's hard to say whether or not it was effective. It was certainly effective in getting people to talk about certain issues, but it can't really truly be measured until Trump comes across the first piece of legislative issue that he either vetoes or signs into law. So we'll see what kind of impact it has over the course of his first term. I think he knows now that he needs to correct his vision or his views when it comes to women's rights and women's health and things of that nature. Not just, all women, but minority women and, gay, lesbian, and transgender. Like, he needs to refocus because he knows that he barely got into office this time. And I know he won the Electoral College by quite a few votes, but he also lost the popular vote.
304, man. 304.
I'm sorry?
304 was the number.
Right. 304 is what he got. I mean, 270 is what you need. So he won it. He got 34 over that amount, but he also lost the popular vote by 3 million. So he's got to understand
allegedly, which we'll talk about later.
Allegedly, right. We'll find out soon enough from the investigation from his top men, the best men.
Huge
but
men.
But I think he's got to correct himself. He's got to correct himself if he wants to stay in another four years. I know nobody thought he could win. I mean, I didn't think he could win, but I think he's got the lowest approval rating of any president that's ever taken office before they even got into the office. So we'll see what he does. We'll see how he reacts.
Numbers don't matter, Steven. It doesn't matter if he's approved. It's about what he does, what he signs off on. And I don't know if he's going to feel compelled to not want to reform or feel the need to reform. His objective was to get in office. He knew that he was going to have both the House and the Senate in his pocket. So all he needs to do is just gather the steam on the people who were voting party line anyway. The real reality is the Democrats now, since we love our two-party system, the Democrats have to fight. The Democrats are going to have to figure out how to turn people who would vote party line to vote and see the greater picture, not what's going to benefit you and your immediate kids here. These are for America. Like, this is for the greater entity, the greater good of this prosperous country that we both and all of us apparently love, and some of us love it more, some of us love it less, depending on who you ask. At the end of the day, it's not for what we want. Like, we want something, but this is for people in the future. This is for people coming down the line, people not born. And obviously, 40 years ago, we didn't have a big gay and lesbian movement. We did have a civil rights movement, but that was suppressed or trying to be suppressed through multiple different acts. Now there's all kinds of different groups. In America, it's still looked at as this moral standing leader in the global economy or marketplace. But if our president doesn't see it that way and he thinks that we need to make America great like it was 30 years ago, then we're not moving forward, we're moving backwards. And time doesn't go that way unless you got fucking remote control.
I generally hope he's talking about economic prosperity, but even then 30, 40 years ago, it wasn't amazing. Like, we weren't, we were still in debt. But we'll see. We'll see what he does. I'm willing to give him a chance. It's hard to be optimistic at this point, but I'm willing to be. I mean, I don't. I'm willing to be open about it, but I mean, it's very easy for me to say. It's
I
very
mean, you're
easy for
gonna
me
be
to be
all right,
open
man.
about it.
At the end of the day, like I've always told all my friends who fall under this demographic, hey man, just go talk to her. You tall, you white. You're gonna be all right.
Right. I mean, it's like I said to you when you were up here for Memorial Day, and up here means New York City. When you were up here and we went to lunch, it was you, me, Brooke, and Brian Stansfield, and
Swag.
we talked about it. And I literally said at the table, like, I'm a white male, I'm gonna be all right. But it terrifies me for everyone else.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
I feel bad for y'all, but shit, I'm gonna be all right.
yeah.
But yeah. But again, on this PandaWatch all about positivity. Shout out to the president, man. You're here. It's your job. Protect everybody who lives in this country. I mean, we know that you've got some daunting promises to back up, but you know, there's people here who love them. There's people here who love America who just got here 2 months ago because where they were sucked so bad. And there's people who have lived here their whole fucking life in America who don't give two shits about it.
Oh, absolutely.
How do we get to like start gauging patriotism? Because that's what it's all boiling down to. Like, I'm more American than you. And
yeah,
it's like,
I mean,
you might be more American than me. I don't know. Like, I really don't know. But it seems like a lot of this shit is going down to, where'd you come from? You can't be American. It's like, yeah, you're right. I can't be American yet. But let me go through the process. I am dying to be American because coming from where I was at, if I stayed, I'd be dead. I wouldn't be anything.
Right.
So let's get on to the next one.
So the next one, well, the next one is before we get on to the the more lighter-hearted stuff, I had a question to my co-host earlier. What is?
You don't call me your fucking co-host, yeah.
What are you then?
I am your brother. I am your friend. I am your confidant. I mean,
all right, man, we're not getting married.
This is. I mean, this is fucking. We have a Golden Girls type relationship.
Yes, I would say that. So, anyways, as I was talking to my Betty White beforehand,
thank you. I'd settle for B. Arthur or Ruth. Ruth was getting it in.
Ruth?
Ruth. But no penis for me. Not that there's anything wrong with it.
So, anyways, we were having a discussion beforehand, or the question was posed: what's worse, being racist or being sexist?
And so now he asked the question live, so I can answer it like for the first time.
Yes.
You have to pick one, and so I'm gonna go out on my end. It is much worse to be sexist because even though we have learned that we have more than one metric or denomination or demographic of sex, it's not just male and female now. Race, the whole identifying part of it, is something that we made up. So I'd much rather give human rights to male or female or transgender or whatever you can identify it as, and not try to be an asshole to put down one sex over the other, as opposed to, I don't want to be racist either, but I've already chose the side of being sexist, as opposed to being exactly. But don't worry, asshole, you get to answer this question too. Instead of being an imaginary oppressionist on something that may or may not be quote unquote real. I am a black person. There's no doubt about it. I am a black American. I am an African American, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But there's people who were born in South Africa who are white or Caucasian or Anglo-Saxon who are also would be African. If they came to America, they'd be African American. They're just Caucasian. So it's clearly something that you can identify, but it's something that is made up. So if I had to be one of the two, I would be neither, but I'd pick to be sexist. And
All
I'd
right.
probably just be sexist against men. Because y'all niggas is crazy.
So you're saying it's worse to be sexist? Okay, I I might flip it and say it's worse to be racist because
Ooh.
then you are prejudiced against both men and women of that race or multiple races.
Yes. Keep going.
So,
You're not getting out of no, bitch. You
oh,
gotta
that's my
keep
no,
going.
no, no. I didn't say it was an essay. I just said it was like a fill in the blank kind of
Fill in
thing.
the blank. Well done. Okay. Well, let me ask you
No,
a
but
question. I mean,
yeah,
we were just talking about the Women's March, and whether you believe or don't believe, we have not made it to the end of the video game where men start having babies. Right?
we'll never get there.
Apparently, we'll never get there.
Yeah,
So, in reality, we would not be here without women.
of course
So
not.
the fact that you can find it in your heart to literally put the person who's responsible for you being on Earth down is impressive.
Well, let me flip it to you
Like
this
a
way:
white person didn't put you on Earth, and I'm listening.
do women just procreate by themselves?
No,
Well, like obviously they have the much harder job. I am not going to dispute that,
it
but
sounds like you are though.
but
And I ain't touching that one with a 10-foot pole, brother. I
no, I
love
mean,
women. Thank you, mom. Thank you, all the women out there. You guys are
well, I mean, I
awesome.
just got tired of agreeing with you on everything,
You
so I'm gonna
don't
say it's
gotta
worse
agree
to
with
be
me, nigga.
racist.
You should be on the
That's what
other
I'm
side.
saying.
But this one, it's very
Yeah,
interesting. Like that's why the Women's March. I don't know. I think, like you said, you couldn't measure how effective it was. It was very interesting that there were some people who were commentating because that's what we do. We don't get into the arena like Theodore Roosevelt will talk about. We just like to talk from the sideline. All those women and men and kids who went down there in support of the cause, the movement, reaction to how the president ran his campaign and is now his presidency so far. All those people know that women are very important. The fact that there's another group of people who are saying that in some way, they're not saying that maybe they are saying it, but they'll argue we're not saying that women are not important. We're just saying blah blah blah, whatever the fuck that blah 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 is. It's just like if the women want something, give it to them, because again, we wouldn't be here. It's just interesting that you could be on the other side of that.
I'm not on the other side. I'm just saying I think it's
Not
worse.
you. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
look. How many on a day to day? How many people of color do you interact with that you can run the risk of to even be racist? Like you can be racist in your home, but if a tree falls and nobody's around to hear it, doesn't make a sound. Like you and I
but
have been best friends for a long time. I don't think you do racist shit. I don't know.
thanks, Kevin. My one lifeline of over 25 years does not know if I'm racist or not. Thanks.
I'm just saying, like, I can't look, I cannot confirm or deny. If you put me on trial right now, I can't be like, that nigga ain't say racist shit in his house. I can't say that. I know when I'm there, you don't say racist shit, and I know that you're not racist. But when I'm not with you, Steven, they would cross-examine the fuck out of me. They'd be like, well, how can you prove it? And I'd be like, damn.
Remind me to
You're
get
right.
Matt Walker as my character witness and not you. This is ridiculous. Matt Walker's known me for like a third of the time, and you'd be like, "No, he's not racist." And you've known me your whole life. Like, well, I don't know for sure, Your Honor. Like,
But Matt gonna be on the stand for like 4 hours answering that one question, and then they're
yeah,
gonna be like, "Look, dude, what happened?" But again, PandaWatch, we are neither sexist nor racist. I'm just saying, if I had to pick one, I'd be racist. I'd be motherfucking Uncle Ruckus. And don't
Well,
you
I mean,
dare
hey,
sing the words, Steven.
you don't have to pick one. You can be both and rise to the top of the GOP. So um,
That's fair.
it's not a crutch, people. But anyway, we're gonna move on. Thank you for staying
Guys,
patient with us.
welcome back, dude. Like this is
Yeah,
an honor. It's been a while, man. I missed you. Yeah.
I miss you too.
Oh man.
Um, but yeah, so what else has happened in our absence is the NFL playoffs.
Yeah.
Um, I want to
Sports.
give a shout out first to your boy Kev Ma for powering through and keeping alive the my team is not in the playoffs bar crawl in my absence. Apologies.
Giving myself a clap.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Don't worry about it. Teamwork, man.
I heard it was a hit to when I texted Kevin to see how it was going, I got a one-word response which was bodies. So thank you all for showing up. It seemed he had like 130 acceptances on Facebook, so there had to be
we
at
had
least
we had a good response rate, which is great. And I'm starting to learn now as a small business owner, like, you know, those likes and all those yeses, it's hard to convert them into actual like sales, but we're gonna get there. So from that 130 or whatever we probably had a solid 80, 85, which was, I don't know if it was more or less than last year, but it felt good. And we took another group picture and we hit 3 bars like we were supposed to. I did not adhere to the rules to not take shots before 9 o'clock. So that's why that text came.
Rule.
Yeah, I know. And that's why that text came across as just bodies. Because when you sent I was like, oh, damn, I should give him like a real response. But then I was like, nope. Too drunk to taste this chicken. And I just said bodies. But it was good, man. Shout out to everybody who came to the 5th annual. My team is not in the playoffs. We love y'all. Appreciate the support. But yeah, that weekend, the Texans played somebody and
the Raiders.
And then the Lions played Seattle. But again, I didn't watch any of the games because I was just out there getting after it.
Well, if you guys haven't seen your boy Kev Ma in action, he is the mayor of Arlington. So when that many people show up to an event, he's kind of like the groom at his wedding. And so he doesn't get a chance to really enjoy the festivities. He's got to say hi to everyone. He's got to make sure they're having a good time. Whereas me, I would just be like, fuck y'all, I'm getting drunk and I'm just talking to like 8 people. So
Senator Palpatine, which it sounds like. Well, and look, I'm just a man of the people, man. I think that connecting with human beings that took the time out of their day to come hang out with us and you in spirit, it's the least I can do. And plus, I liked everybody who showed up. They're genuinely our friends or friends of friends. So, you know, friends of the program, we take care of them. But back to football. The Patriots had a bye.
Do you want me to run it down? Because it seems like you're struggling.
No. The Kansas City Chiefs had a bye, which who knew, right? So the AFC divisional, the divisionals were Pittsburgh versus who they play?
Miami. Come on, man.
Pittsburgh versus Miami. Texans played the Raiders, and then in the NFC, it was the Packers and the Giants, and then the other one, Seattle and who the fuck? Detroit. So those 2 games on Saturday were boring as hell. The only game, I mean, all divisional games were not good. Would you agree? Those wildcard games were not good.
With the exception of the first half of the Giants-Packers game, you're
How
correct.
much is that bias, though?
That first half was objectively entertaining and a close football game. You can't deny that. The Hail Mary
10-3?
No, it wasn't that. It was close, and then he got the Hail Mary, and it just kind of like it sunk the Giants like momentum. So anyway, that game was close. All right, it was objectively it was close until like midway through the 3rd quarter, and then it was just done. But yes, you're right. Those games were awful. The great thing I liked about Saturday is I got done skiing, and I got to control the TV in the house, and I watched
because you're a white male.
Well, because nobody else was there. But I was skiing because I was a white male, yes.
Fair.
But I got to control the TV because nobody else was there. So I watched the Texans-Raiders game, and what I loved was seeing my boy Jadeveon Clowney getting his first career interception in the playoffs. That was awesome. The dude had struggled with injuries for 2 years. People were calling him a bust. His first full year that he's fully healthy, he's a Pro Bowler, and he made a real impact on that defensive line when J.J. Watt was out for most of the season. And that's no knock on J.J. Watt. That's just saying that Clowney stepped up and he was a beast. So really proud of that.
So then from the wild card, we go to the divisionals, and we had the Patriots played. Who did they play?
The Texans. Do you want me to do this? The Patriots played the Texans.
You should do it. I didn't watch anything. The Colts were not in the playoffs. Why the fuck was I watching it?
I mean, yeah, but then let me do the recap. Why are you trying to struggle through the thing?
I wouldn't say I'm struggling.
Okay.
I just don't remember any of the teams.
Yeah. So Falcons played the Seahawks in the early Saturday game. I don't remember too much of it, but I remember it being like somewhat close, and the Falcons just pulled ahead. Houston, New England was again close in the first half, and then New England just beat them down. I remember Tom Brady, of course, cried about a hit Jadeveon laid on him, but nothing really happened. It was just Tom Brady being Tom Brady. Then on Sunday, the games got moved because of the ice storm in Kansas City. So Kansas City, Pittsburgh was supposed to be 1:00, got moved to the night game.
Yes. And then
Packers Cowboys played at 4:30. That game was crazy exciting.
That was a really good game. And I will just say this.
Yeah.
The whole year, the Cowboys were like pound for pound the best team in the NFL. You could argue the Patriots or Kansas City or the Raiders. The Raiders are really good. But from beginning to end, the Cowboys they were like, man, this is the year. America's team, they back. However, my reservation for the Cowboys is they've always had enough talent. They've always been in a division where they can be tested. So if they could get through it, they should be able to make a run. The reality of the situation is they haven't been tested in the playoffs. And as good as Dak and Ezekiel have been, the Cowboys, the stigma is always, since they haven't been to the Super Bowl since what, 93, 4 or 5?
96, I think, when they beat the Steelers in 96.
96, right? That was they beat Neil down on them.
Yeah, I remember this. Larry Brown got the MVP. The dude was like a defensive back, got 2 picks. Anyway, so
no, not Larry Brown.
It was Larry Brown.
You confirmed?
I will bet all the money you have that it was Larry Brown.
Oh, look at that! Chill out, motherfucker. But anyway, I didn't believe the Cowboys in the playoffs, so they were going to have to show me that they could do it. And when I came home from coaching, they were down 17-3, and I said,
"Yeah, Packers jumped out."
Yeah, Packers jumped out on him, and I was like, "Well, this is what I thought." Now, in the Cowboys' defense, and kudos to the quarterback, the rookie Dak Prescott, he showed me something to the point where, I mean, they had all this pressure. They were America's team. They were the number 1 team in the division. They were hot. Everybody wanted them to get there. And he was like the chosen one alongside his rookie counterpart, running back, Ezekiel. They could have folded, and it could have been like, well, the moment was too much for him. But he really showed me some shit where he, through his passing, his mobility, his leadership, he got them back into that game, put them up. It's just that when they scored, the other quarterback on the other side was like, damn, you gave me a minute 50? Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Right.
I feel like that game would have came down to who had the ball last, even though the Packers jumped out early.
And let me say, on that last drive, as great as Aaron Rodgers was, the receiver he hit on the sideline, South Carolina. So.
Oh, he went to North Carolina, you said?
South Carolina.
Oh, okay. No, that was vintage Aaron Rodgers right there, and shout out to his receiver from North Carolina getting open.
Oh, Kevin.
But on the other side, Did we already talk about the Patriots?
No, we haven't talked because we haven't gotten there yet. The other side
That's
was
right.
Pittsburgh, Kansas City. That game was just ugly as fuck. And on to the last minutes, Kansas City marched down the field, got the touchdown to get within 2. Originally on the 2-point conversion, they got it. I can't remember who they hit in the back of the end zone. It wasn't Kelsey, but it was somebody else. But they got a holding penalty. And their left tackle, Eric Fisher, pretty much hogtied James Harrison. And I hate James Harrison, but he pretty much got him around the neck.
I mean, you're not saying that to his face.
Yeah, of course I'm not going to say it to him.
Why do fans do that? Like, I hate James Harrison. What do you not like about James Harrison? If James Harrison was on your fucking team, what would you think about it? He sucks?
I think he's a dickhead, personally. I mean, my kids aren't going to get any participation trophies. Like, calm down, dude. You're not alone in that. You're not some, like, maverick that hates participation trophies.
But do you think that he's lying, though? Like, when you...
No, I don't think he's lying. I just think he's a jackass.
Yeah, those kids are going to have no fun ever in their life. But they'll learn how to compete.
I mean, we'll see. Next time we bring Kaepernick on, we can ask him about James Harrison.
Yeah. Cap will tell you. Yeah. Cap was scared of him.
Yeah, I'd be scared of him too. That doesn't mean I don't like dislike him, or just because I feel one way about someone doesn't mean I'm not like scared of them.
Listen, I'm trying to save your life. All right, listen,
James Harrison is not going to come find me and beat me.
We are in a different time, Steven. The internet, these motherfuckers can find you, and I don't know what James Harrison is capable of. However, I know he plays football angry. And if he plays football angry, I would hate to see what he does when he's actually angry about somebody talking about him.
Why are you so scared, dude? People talk about James Harrison 20,000 times more reachable and noticeable than me, and you're so like, oh, don't talk. It's like the same thing with Greg Hardy. You got like really upset that I said Greg Hardy was a douchebag. You're like, oh, he's gonna come get you.
Okay, hey, James Harrison, shout out to you, brother. Stay black. That was the other host. Stephen
Blake. Just remember, James Harrison, Kevin Ma would rather be sexist than racist. I would not. So.
Wait, did you say rather be sexist than racist?
Sorry, you'd rather be racist than sexist. You know what I mean.
Okay, yeah.
Either way.
Yeah, either way, we're here. Now we're at the fucking Super Bowl.
Now we're at the championship games.
Let's skip those.
Yeah, Atlanta just bombed out Green Bay. That was kind of fun to watch.
And then the Patriots again.
Patriots, of course, they always cheat.
They cheated, though.
They pulled the fire alarm, yeah.
Let's talk about that for a quick second. My man said, so, Steven, I'll do the recap because I know this one. A 25-year-old Patriots fan was staying in the same hotel as the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, he was not staying in the hotel.
Oh, he didn't?
No, they were all. He got drunk with his buddies. They found out what hotel they were staying in, and
my gosh!
Yeah,
damn, y'all white people are crazy.
Dennis Harrison of East Boston cannot afford to stay in the same hotel as the Steelers and all the NFL executives the week before the night of the AFC Championship game. Sorry.
That's fair. But yeah, homeboy went out there, got drunk, and pulled the fire alarm because what's the worst that's going to happen to him? He ain't going to sleep no time soon. He's probably high on cocaine and alcohol. These motherfuckers.
I hear they do Oxy. They do Oxy in Boston.
Oh, that's right. Something. It's an upper.
That's what the town taught me.
That's right. It's an upper for sure. But yeah, not only that. So like that's third party auxiliary, not affiliated directly to the team. I'm talking about in the game. Tom Brady fumbled at a critical juncture where they were about to go up 2 or maybe even 3 scores on the Pittsburgh Steelers. But there was a fumble that Pittsburgh recovered, and the referee on the field didn't say it was a clear fumble recovery. However, you know how they throw the beanbag down. They say the ball's loose. And the guy who recovered it before the whistle was blown was a Pittsburgh Steelers person. So the play wasn't called dead, and the Pittsburgh Steelers recovered it. However, we go to replay, and it was deemed because the call on the field was Patriots ball. They didn't say that they didn't acknowledge that the Steelers had recovered it. It said Steelers Patriots ball when it was clear fumble and clear recovery by the Steelers, and that wasn't going to save them. This ain't Deflategate. I'm just saying the momentum of that game could have changed right there. Like the Steelers had a chance to stem the tide.
Right. But they would have lost anyway.
But we're the Teflon Steelers. Robert Kraft has Roger Goodell by the nuts, and so yeah, we won't say anything bad about them, even if it's egregious.
So I'll say this: I think the Falcons win the Super Bowl. I mean,
hey, I hope you're right. I hope you're right. But if we've seen anything about what Coach Belichick has done, Julio doesn't have a chance to catch 5 passes in this game. So who's going to beat him?
I don't know about that. I don't know, man. Julio's on another level.
He is. But isn't Antonio Brown always on another level?
Yeah, but Antonio Brown is not the physical freak that Julio Jones is. Antonio Brown is a great receiver.
Some would argue the best in the league.
You're right. But Julio Jones is a physical freak. He's a different type of great receiver than Antonio Brown is. Antonio Brown is great at route running. He's got great hands. He's very smart. But Julio Jones is a physical freak. I think gives him the edge over Antonio Brown when it comes to just like one-on-one matchups.
All right, so the football's 11-11. We double team Julio. So now let's say instead of keep going.
Sanu has been great this year. Tyler Gabriel's come into it. They also have 2 pretty good running backs back there. They have a great running back in Freeman.
You expect him,
and a good running back in Freeman.
Do you expect this to be an offensive shootout, or is this going to be a defensive struggle?
I think it's going to be a shootout. But I also thought the Falcons-Packers game would be a shootout, and that turned more into Falcons just blowing them out.
That was a route. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I really hope the Patriots fucking lose. I don't like the Patriots. I don't know if I can emphasize that any stronger.
Right.
I respect him. I think it's great. I think Bill Belichick is a fucking genius. I think he has figured out how to put together a system. And by that, I mean like just a complete system from top to bottom, from their catering staff all the way up to the fucking to where he's at, to Rob Kraft obviously owns the team, but even he's bought in to like, whatever you want me to do, Belichick, even though I'm paying you, I'll do whatever you want. And Belichick is so laser focused on what the objective is that he didn't even know that the Atlanta Falcons were the team he was playing post his game, which happened before his game was the result of his game.
But you knew that. You knew he didn't want to know who he was playing until after their game. You knew that.
Yeah, I respect human beings who can just get so locked into what they want to do. Message to other people and get them to buy in. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, that's what the president did. There's no denying how great they are.
They are trying to make America great again.
But
and I, for one, I say fuck that.
But you know who's taking a step in the right direction? Your Colts.
No. Your Colts. I thought we were going to get out of here without doing that.
Yeah, but we got to mention the fact that they got rid of a huge dead weight off their fucking team. So
Ryan Grigson, man, R.I.P.
He literally.
Wait, he didn't die?
He drafted Luck, and then he looked like a genius for 5 years, even though he put nothing around him.
But did he? I mean, that draft was Luck was going 1-1. Period.
That's what I'm saying. He got lucky with that.
Yeah. And he absolutely did nothing around him. And we knew the area of concern was offensive line. And also, we just paid the fucker $140 million. And the first time you have an opportunity to surround him with an offensive line, you draft a wide receiver at 21.
Right.
So even if this wide receiver is game changing, he would not be there at pick 21. And that wide receiver in question is Philip Dorsett, and he had 38 catches this year.
Yeah. So the only good move they made was signing Frank Gore, and even that, I mean, that wasn't amazing, but it was still a good move. But yeah, he was awful, and he's gone. So hopefully, you guys can start riding the ship a little bit. Shouldn't be too hard. That division is ballsack.
The
So
division is terrible, but again, I think
yeah,
Pagano lost in the shuffle is like we know Coach Pagano 1 year he was diagnosed with cancer and that was a rallying cry. But even without that thing, the players react and respond to Chuck Pagano. They really genuinely like him. He's an affable person. People respect him. He gets the most out of people. The only problem is the Colts were decimated with injuries on the defensive line and in their secondary. And they started off with no linebackers anyway. So the cupboard was bare. So I can only get, like you, Steven, I can get you to go run through a wall for me, but you're not going to tackle anybody at that level. So if you're not skilled or talented enough to compete at that level, we don't have a fucking chance.
absolutely.
And so the Colts on offense were a top 10 team. Colts on defense, except for like 3 games, were the worst defense in the league.
Yeah, and so we'll see. We'll see if Pagano with a different GM can.
But that's not. Well, now he's under the gun to do something. The Colts are going to have $60 million in free money in salary cap. It'll be interesting to see how many free agents they sign and what they do through the draft.
Absolutely.
All I know is Jim Irsay, fucking put the meds down, smoke some weed, drink some whiskey, be old, be white, be rich, be Christian, and just enjoy it. Life. You went 5 for 5. Just chill out and get out the way and let the people who you hire do their job.
I agree, and that's why I like the Rooneys and Mara so much, because they don't fuck around with football operations. They just
don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, that's all we got for football.
That's all we got, man.
All right, we're gonna go to our final segment of the night, and I believe this is a request by you, so I'll let you lead it off.
I don't know what we're talking about.
We're talking about our favorite race involved act of the weekend.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I guess you forgot about it already.
I definitely did forget about it. You lead because you have one.
So, my favorite.
So PandaWatch, we like to talk about racial diversity and social impact and sports and current events and all that stuff. But our demographic is as it is. Steven's the white guy. I'm the black guy. So we pay attention to racial and non-racial and diversity type events. So Steven, tell me, what was your favorite racial event that had happened since we've been gone?
My favorite event that involved any type of like racial bias or bigotry was Richard Spencer.
Who is that?
What's going on over there? You all right? Anyway, my favorite was Richard Spencer at the inauguration was talking about was a Pepe pin, and then out of nowhere just gets clocked right in the face.
For those listeners who don't know who Richard Spencer is, could you educate us?
Richard Spencer is, I don't know his full background, but I know that dude is a white supremacist neo-Nazi. So
he kind of looks like Biff from
Back to the Future. Yeah. Basically, he's not just a dude who's like conservative and like whose politics you don't agree with. No, this dude like is about black genocide,
which he has written about.
Right.
To ask if the black race was not here, would we need them? And some other shit that'll get him killed. But it's okay though, because his white Aryan brothers got his back.
Right. So that was my favorite moment, just him getting punched, and the fact that pretty much if you like, here's the thing. Violence isn't great, but when it's against a neo-Nazi, I'm all for it. So if you have a problem with Richard Spencer getting punched, I apologize, but that sucks for you.
That sucks for
So
you.
that's my favorite moment.
Because Steven's not going to fucking apologize. He's just going to say,
yeah,
why the fuck are you supporting somebody who's against, racial equality in America, where allegedly we're equal opportunists?
Exactly. So that's mine.
To piggyback on yours, there was a Jezebel link that you sent me, and it was the punch. It was the actual act and video of the punch, but it was set and scored to different various, like politically charged rap songs. And
Yes.
one was Blockbuster Night by Run the Jewels, and the other one was Don't Believe the Hype by Public Enemy. But the way they edited it was every time he got punched, it was don't, and that on the don't, it was a punch to the face. And then they rolled it where the full thrust punch elbow was don't believe the hype. Which was great.
They also did they did a Biggie song, and my favorite though was when they did Born in the USA, and they did it where it was like Born in the USA bump, and every time you did the bump, it just got hit in the head.
There was a lot of America. Let's just figure it out, because I don't know what my most memorable favorite racist thing that happened over the past, how long we've been gone, 2.5 months, but I know there was a lot, and I don't know if I suppressed it, but I just am just saying America do better. But I will say this.
I kind of stole yours too, so it's all right.
You did, bitch. It's okay. I still love you. I will say this. America, we're a lot better than what's going on. Please, 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 everybody, no matter what color, creed, race, team, whatever you want to be on, do your own research. It's easy to follow the crowd. Eventually, you're going to get to a place where you disagree with somebody who's very close to you. And it's not going to be to shut them off. It's just going to be, let's get to a resolution. Because we both want to be right, but we should actively work towards solving a problem as opposed to winning an argument. And I know for a fact that I used to love winning fucking arguments, but it didn't solve anything. It just made me feel better. But making yourself feel better is cool, but when you do it just in the face of like somebody else being oppressed, it just makes you look like a fucking dickhead.
Agreed. And I'll follow up on that sentiment and just say, hey, we're one country, we're one people. Let's move forward the next 4 years instead of trying to stall everything in moving backwards.
But, because we like to play devil's advocate, if for some reason they can't do it because they don't have majority. If for some reason the Democrats wanted to fucking play, filibuster and just fucking be petty as fuck and just say, nope, we're not going to give you what you want, it would be interesting to see how America just played with that issue. If they called it un-American or unpatriotic, when literally for 8 years straight, that's what happened.
Agreed. So, yeah, we're in for a very interesting at least 4 years.
Hold on to your butts.
Yes.
And ladies, stay strong. We love y'all. Gosh, I mean, I love y'all. Steven doesn't love y'all.
I love y'all too, but just know that I love every race of lady, unlike Kevin. So
that is not true at all. Take us home, man.
Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. On Twitter, it's at PandaWatch Podcast. On Instagram, it's PandaWatch Podcast. You can always email us at thepandawatchpodcast@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook. Send us comments. Send us messages. We love y'all, so we'll respond. We'll listen. And until next time, which hopefully won't be as long as last time.
But it might.
Peace. love, and
You didn't say
I said it.
Oh, okay. And go Greyhound, but chocolates.